We're a community, and I talk about the immigrant and refugee community because I'm part of it. From what I know and from what I've seen and observed, our refugee and immigrant community is very hardworking. And our work sometimes isn't as valued as it should be, but it's very palpable. My name is Dina Ganan. I came to Canada from Colombia, fleeing persecution. My father, he used to be a human rights activist, working with internally displaced people in Colombia. Because of that, we had to move around the country various times, and our final destination was Canada.
My name is Nebuta. I was born in Thailand, and my origin is from Burma. My parents, they're from Burma. I'm one of the Karen. They're from Burma.
But if you've never heard of the minority ethnic group, you're not alone. Karens make up just 7% of the population of Myanmar, formerly known as Burma.
In Burma, because of the civil war, the Karen people have to move off the country to Thailand. There was killing, they burned the house and killed children. So it was very dangerous for her to live in Burma. And then we moved to Thailand. So I lived more than 10 years in Thailand, that refugee camp.
For the past 10 years, Delia's lived in this refugee camp in Thailand along with 14,000 other refugees from her native Burma. Now it's time to say goodbye.
Honestly, we had no idea what it's kind of like for us just to be safe. And also we are ready to contribute to the job, to go to school, to be our new life here. And the Korean people, we have been through a lot because of the war. Most of our life is never like peaceful. You never know what will happen to you next day. You might probably die somewhere. Yes.
My mother, and this is my grandmother. My grandmother's name is Rosalie, and my mother's name is Delia.
When we first arrived, people always confused that the Korean people are for Burma, so they thought like we either speak Burmese or maybe Thai. But that the Korean people, we have our own language and we speak different languages. So when you tell people that you are Korean, they kind of confuse it. They don't know who is Korean. My mom, when we arrived, she was helping, volunteer, translated for her friends, open a bank account. Even some little things that we take for granted every day here, it was hard for the Korean people because of they basically cannot speak English, like just like one word. But then through her volunteer to the communities and through her friends, and she got a job in the school district, helping the Korean and the newcomer.
The main challenges were the language, honestly. Because in order to fully be able to access many things, you need the language. The first 3 years of high school were really hard for me. But then I found a niche with my immigrant and refugee friends because they also had to juggle translating for their parents, working, and supporting the family in a way or another. I'm looking for a job. So that's happening. For me, I was one of the persons in my family that learned the language faster. My parents will ask me to intermediate in phone calls with the government about different issues. And the language that they used was very different from the language that I knew, just learning the language. Because of the barriers, there's always a child in the middle.
So I'm excited about that.
Brokering and negotiating and organizing. And yes, that's an experience that is common for immigrant and refugee youth. It does give us a lot of maturity, and our insight to the world is very different because we see things from another light. The immigrant and refugee lens and also the youth lens that's trying to integrate into the society.
I will try to my best.
The Vancouver Foundation gathered and brought immigrant and refugee youth to talk about issues that they face, issues of migration, lived experiences with the youth advisory team that we're about 25 people right now. We come from a dozen places countries, and we speak more than a dozen languages inside the group as well. We live in a society that says that values multiculturalism, values different cultures, different ethnic backgrounds. However, if a country really appreciates different values and values cultures and diversity, why is it that so many racist and prejudicial attitudes are so prevalent?
That opens room for abuse and for injustice many times.
And there are various reasons why we come here to Canada, and one of those reasons is for safety. Like, for example, if there are political unrests or conflicts in your country.
As a person, you're supposed to be free, you know? You're supposed to not be held back by systems of racism, oppression, sexism.
Many refugees don't want to talk about their problems or say that they're missing their needs because they live in fear of being deported. So
why is it harder for a woman to access different resources? Why is it harder for a refugee to access health? As immigrant and refugee youth, we found out that we can stop this type of attitudes, to stop stereotypes and different myths about refugees. Everybody's experience is so different, that everybody's background is different, that not everybody is in the same social class, not everybody is the same race and has the same privileges as many of us may have. We have the power ourselves to challenge these attitudes by keeping our values intact and by keeping our religion and by valuing all of our backgrounds.
Canadian multiculturalism is basically like diversity around us, like many people from different backgrounds. So I see that around me.
Yeah, you're always going to encounter people who are ignorant and who will try and put you in a certain place or see you in a certain way where maybe racist or just stupid. But as long as you know who you are and you don't let anyone decide that for you, you're going to be totally fine.
I do not have to be liberated. I do not have to be helped. I am a young woman that has the power to do so many things.
I deserve to be treated fairly, equally as others. Don't judge me how I look, but instead of who I am.
I hope to get to know you more in the future.
I'm so happy that we have such an amazing group of new members that once you include people, immigrant and refugee young women, in political positions, you will see a difference because of their insight, because of their intellectual knowledge, and because of what they're capable of doing. I'm waiting for the day to see a refugee young woman be part of the federal government. And I'm waiting to see an immigrant and refugee young woman being the Prime Minister of Canada. And we're going to see the difference that the system is going to take with them.